Hi, I'm Katie Couric. Welcome to Eye to Eye. Senator Ted Stevens, known for funding Alaska's infamous Bridge to Nowhere, hasn't slowed his spending on earmarks that benefit his state. Sharyl Attkisson spoke to Steve Ellis of Taxpayers for Common Sense about the disproportionate number of federal dollars the sparsely populated state receives.
How would you rank Senator Stevens in terms of what kind of earmarker he is?
He's at the head of the pack. I mean, Senator Stevens makes no bones about it, and it certainly is the senior-most Republican in the entire Senate. And as the former chairman of the Appropriations Committee, his ability to bring home the bacon to Alaska is legendary, and he doesn't make any bones about doing that.
What does that mean in terms of taxpayers who don't know much about this process? Tell us what types of things Alaska has gotten and where there might be some questions.
Well, there's all sorts of things. I mean, it runs from $450,000 to study the use of salmon in baby food, which, of course, Alaska has a major fishery. Also, in the Fisheries Council, they were able to get money. He earmarked millions of dollars to them, some of which went to paint a 737 jet, the Salmon 37. It was painted to look like a salmon. This is a state that, although it is the 49th state in the union, is definitely first in the class on earmarks.
Okay, and is that fair? Maybe they need all this stuff. I'm just trying to think of what the argument could be.
Well, certainly. One of the arguments that you hear from Alaska is exactly that 49th state argument, that, we came into the union late and we need to catch up. Everybody else has had hundreds of years of spending federal dollars and investment in infrastructure and roads and everything else, and so we need to catch up. But essentially, we should be looking at this on a need basis. It's impossible to argue that Alaska needs to have several times the amount of money per person that another state, like, say, New York gets. And so really what we have to be looking at is are we deciding these spending decisions, is it being based on political muscle or project merit? It's not project merit. It's because Senator Stevens is one of the most powerful members of the Senate in delivering earmarks.
As Senator Stevens has come under a cloud of investigation for some of his dealings in Alaska, he's still been very successful at getting the earmarks. And if taxpayers hear that story, they might be kind of surprised that someone who's under an ethical cloud is still able to get so much money. What are some of your thoughts about that as a taxpayer group?
Well, essentially, it's business as usual up here in the Capitol. And even though there have been scandals involving earmarks, they're still churning them out at the same old pace. And he's still Ted Stevens. He's still the friend of the chairman of the Defense Appropriations Subcommittee, Senator Inouye from Hawaii. He's still, the senior Republican in the entire Senate, and so they're just treating it as usual. And he's getting that same bundle of earmarks that he's gotten in the past, and in some cases even more.
Some members of Congress might say, we're just doing our job. We're supposed to bring home as much resources to our districts as we can.
Well, it seems that I might have a higher job description for them. I mean, they're elected to represent their constituents to the federal government. But at the end of the day, their job isn't to bring home every single thing that isn't bolted down here in Washington back to their home states.